my first entry point would be at 6, and then at 7, and then at 8, somewhere in that range. So I got my 6 filled here. I want to see, kind of work just a little bit here, a little, see what it wants to do. Again, it's an area that we're looking at. We're not going to be perfect, so have to take that into consideration. So a nice little rotation down here to 4. We're scaling for about 2 points. If you have more contracts, maybe you could scale out of those a little bit as well, depending on your risk tolerance as an individual. We're on the same bar, so if you still have the 7 in there, that's still doable. If we close this bar, then obviously the 7 area worked by getting up here to 6. We got up here to 6.25, so in case you, this time you should have gotten 6 if you had your scale in. And again, we mentioned that before when we talked about an area versus a perfect number. This business is not going to be, can't be perfect. We try to be perfect, but it's impossible, and that's why we call it areas. And we have to learn to, you have to manage that according to your risk tolerance. So if some of you cannot trade 6, 7, and 8, maybe you just had a 7. So you see what the market, what the price action does right around here. And if the bar closes here, the 5-minute bar closes, then it becomes a little bit more tenuous to 7. And I would probably say if you're more risk averse, you're going to not have the 7 at all and wait for the next opportunity. Again, if you have multiple contracts against the 6 entry point there, you are scaling out of them. And that's why somehow if you are, again, trading multiple contracts, you can take a little bit more than 2 or 3 points out of some of these trades, depending on how you manage them. And everybody here trades differently, right? There's really not one right way or wrong way of doing this. You have to know your risk tolerance and trade it accordingly. Morgan Stanley analyst who has been bearish on equities through the 2023 rally, now sees a late cycle rally driven by monetary policy. Always changing his opinion. In our view, the positive policy impact has been supported by very strong fiscal impulse, a still supportive global liquidity backdrop, okay, and optimism that the Fed can now transition to easier monetary policy given the falling inflation data. These developments fostered a robust rally in 2019 that was driven almost exclusively by multiple and not earnings, multiple not earnings, as has been the case this year. All right, then. Because since he was bearish the whole 6 months, first 6 months, how much do you want to believe in the second 6 months of the year? Anyway, well, let's hope he's right. Anyway, everybody likes a rally market, right? It's pretty strong. It's pretty remarkable rally considering the pressure the market has been under, especially with interest rates upticking as quickly and as fast as they did, or have, I should say. Maybe did. Maybe past tense. Maybe it'll start going the other way. All right, we closed the bar here, so obviously the 7, if you have the 7, it's going to be a little bit more tenuous. We have 14 next on the upside. Intermediate, I love that new word, and I'm liking it more and more. Could be around the 11 if you are intermediating. I go away for a couple of weeks and come up with new terms for me. I appreciate that. That's the best. Intermediate level would be the 11th area. Yeah, it does. It feels safer. Kind of. but you're talking about futures trading, so kind of safer is like a word you have to be careful using when you're trading futures. But we could find kind of safer trades, right? I mean that's what we're trying to do here actually. But maybe less risky. How's that? That's a better term than safer. There's nothing guaranteed here in this business, and that's why we always keep our stops in place. And they're looking for the next opportunity when we get stopped out. And like our 7 here area work, where you can manage this trade and take a little bit more than 2 or 3 points. And if you're trading multiple contracts, that's perfect. And if not, if you just had one and you got in at 6, you got a nice little trade there, risk free. Absolutely. You have to be positive around here. And besides that, I got to cover my ass, right? It's nothing safe. I can't say safe. All right, there's a number coming out here in about a minute or so. We'll see what the PMI manufacturing index is going to react, or how the market's going to react to this number. We like to be flat when the numbers are released, at least if we know there's a number is being released. And usually, sometimes I miss something, but we have a slew of them coming out at the top of the hour. But we have this one coming out right now. We'll see what it wants to do. So I'm flat. If I have an order in anywhere, it would be around the 11 area on the upside, and downside I will have 91 in case we go back down there. But that's me. You don't have to. You don't have to. My orders are in place as well as my stops. So if I get triggered on the order, my stop is automatically get triggered. So in case the market runs away from me, I'm not going to get bamboozled, because sometimes the problem with electronic trading is that the algorithms can take over, and we cannot keep up as traders with those algorithms. So counteract that, we have to have our stops in place, especially if you're going to leave orders in place in the market. So keep that in mind, because if the market does take off for whatever reason, it might not be this number, but let's say there was some news that comes out that we're not privy to, and if you're going to leave orders in the queue, definitely keep your stops automatically in place as well. That way, we don't get run over, and we'll see what happens from there. We'll try to figure out why there's volatility and what's going on. Sometimes we can figure it out, sometimes we can't. It doesn't really matter. We have our levels and we focus around those, and we don't try to figure out markets move or why markets move. This number is out as I'm talking, and really didn't do anything. Can you guys still hear me? Okay, thank you. I got a little thing in my headpiece, my mic, and sometimes I don't know where the noise came from. I don't know if it was telling me it was wrong or what. All right. So numbers out. This number again, didn't really do much, and we'll see. We have a slew coming out here at the top of the hour. ISM manufacturing, construction spending, and jobs reports. This week again on Friday, unemployment. So always a market mover sometimes. Uh, good thing it comes out at 7:30 and we start at 8:30, so we don't have to, mess with the initial uh, release. But let's see, sometimes the trade is really good on those unemployment days, and sometimes it's just there's nothing. So who knows? Okay, there are the levels again in the chat for those of you who might come a little bit late. Again, if you have any questions, the chat is where you want to ask them. We're just kind of bouncing around here. Pivot there, 98. If you're a little aggressive, might be a little support area coming back to that rotation uh, off of our first resistance area. Again, depending on how aggressive you want it to be. All right. Again, if anybody has any questions, feel free to ask. We do any trades or any levels or any concepts that we talk about is taught experience and education mentoring that we offer. And it's done in this venue. We use live charts to help us kind of tell you why we are looking for levels, what we're trying to do with them, why they would work, why they wouldn't work, how to manage them, so on and so forth. If any of this stuff interests you, let us know. No, we are just kind of quiet here. Well, these numbers come out here at the top of the hour and see what they do. Like I said earlier, we do focus on the morning hours to give us our opportunities. We feel that the dynamics in the morning work well to our strategy and methodology. I think as the day goes on, especially these days when they suck out the volatility and the volume, that trade is definitely a little bit more different than the afternoon is in the morning. There's a lot more traders going on right now. So, market's just kind of dawdling. We'll see what it wants to do. Get this number coming out here in a little bit. See what that does. All right, we're just kind of looks like we're flagging here a little bit. Let's see where it wants to go. right. If you look at the ladder ticket, you see the bids and the offers have kind of lightened up a lot in the ladder ticket. There's hardly any 100 lot orders in there, hardly any 50 lot orders in there. You can see that something is imminent. And so the bond market is really thinned out. If you have a bond market ladder ticket, and so if, in case you don't know that I'm telling you there's a number coming out, this is one way of knowing without really knowing. You can see now there's 20 lot of announced ladder ticket. So this is why you also have to make sure you're very careful with numbers are out. That's why I said, yeah, my orders are in place, and that's why I have to be very careful with my stops because, yeah, you know, it's a very risky proposition here to keep orders in place. But you know, again, if you have a backstop, if you have your um, stops in place, and you understand the risk, you know, you have to understand the risk. Obviously, that's the key. And you can leave it. If the risk is too much and it's not something you are comfortable doing, then you don't do it. It's that simple because if there is an opportunity, we'll get the opportunity, you know, one way or the other. All right, well, we got up here to 9. I took earlier, we're looking around the 11 area that where I'm kind of focusing on. Let's see what goes from there. If something happens there. All right, we just kind of range bound here a little bit. Again, numbers were up, but they're absorbing the numbers, trying to figure out what they want to do. You can see the ladder ticket, the orders that are slowly coming back in. Unfortunately, not much happened as far as movement. So that's still a little bit bullish, I guess. We'll see. The ladder ticket, yeah, the ladder ticket is basically the dome. Yeah, correct. Different ways, different terminology. All mean the same thing. I guess. Yeah, a good question. And again, if anybody doesn't understand the phrase that they use, you know, I've obviously used phrases when I was on the floor, so they could be a little bit different than uh, what somebody, I mean, what the new generation of traders are using. So I might revert back to saying something that doesn't make sense or doesn't even understand. It's just basically same thing, different, different terminology. It's not like I don't know new terminology is, I just like to use the old. All right, we are kind of just hanging here. They drifted down to around the 3 area, popped it back up into the 9 area, and we'll see where it wants to go from here. See, I got something going on, like a cold or something. I don't know. I am going to the doctor tomorrow, so that's figure out what the hell's wrong with me. I was away on this trip and I came back and I just like just whatever I got there, just hanging
Hey, quick shout out. Welcome to Jonathan. Welcome, Jonathan. I'm going to post the opportunity to sign up for the service for those that haven't. Check your status and make sure you're signed up. Hey, Jonathan, give us a quick sound check. Use the chat feature to respond. Hey, Jonathan, welcome aboard. Hey, Donnie, you're around. Can you post the levels for Jonathan?
around. Good morning there, Jonathan. They're at a level. Perfect. We gave out those levels early on. We use them as a guide to the day. And we already got triggered on our 07 level earlier this morning. And then now we're just kind of floating around here. And it's like a range here, especially after the numbers came out. You can see the next level on the upside we have is up to 14. A little resistance there at 11, but obviously it's a little bit riskier, so we're going to take it, be mindful of that. And support right now would still be at the 98 area on the downside, besides the 91.
Hey, quick shout out. Welcome to Not Again.
All right. We are definitely still range bound in this range. Again, we are cannot create volatility. We only trade it. We trade volatility when there is volatility and when we have an opportunity. So we definitely have to be mindful and be patient and wait for those opportunities to give us, the market create those opportunities for us instead of us trying to go out there and chase and try to create something because we're not going to be good at just guessing which way the markets are going. The VIX is trading at almost 14, so very, very low, and that's our volatility index. So when it's the teens, low teens like that, the patience is vital to your success. Really, that's the bottom line. So we have definitely showed some patience. We average about 4 to 5 trades a day, and again, the key word is average. There's obviously opportunities sometimes when markets are moving around that we're going to trade a lot more than 4 or 5 a day. And we also focus on the morning hours to give us our, especially our price action opportunities, the levels of work all day long. Even though we try to focus, like I said, the morning gives us our good dynamics, good volatility, good volume. It definitely dries up as the day goes on. So.
Hey, quick shout out. Welcome to Tor. Hey, Tor, welcome aboard. This is an E-mini trade along. Our home base is in Zoom. eminitradealong.com. eminitradealong.com is posted in the text in the E-mini trade along channel. You know, the link to drop in. Hey, quick shout out to Jomer. Hey, Jomer, welcome aboard. Here's a quick sound check. Let us know that you see our charts and hear Saul's voice. Use the chat feature to respond. We're here trading days, focused on trading the S&P 500 E-mini from an educational point of view only. We're looking to do 2, 3, 4, 5 trades, looking for a pickup of 2 points plus. This is an opportunity to trade along. You also have the opportunity to take coaching classes with your trade along host. Saul is back from his what would you call it, Saul? A sabbatical in Israel. He brought his team over there, won the tournament. Congratulations.
Thanks. Thanks.
He brought back some dreaded congestion and inability to talk.
Yeah, right.
Gotta get to the bottom of that. And John is like unceremoniously quiet today.
He's worked hard for a month, man. You got to give him a break.
You know, Don made you proud.
I heard.
He was.
I had no doubt anyway that he wasn't going to. So it was very.
No, I'm telling you, he stepped up to the plate and he worked it from all different angles, and he was excellent. You know, he jumped right in and he was good. So I think you guys, I think both of you, your leadership, and he's coming along great. That was nice.
Yeah, no, no doubt. You taught him well.
Me? I mean, are you kidding me? I'm lucky I can keep up with him. Both of you.
Well, so what's wrong with your phone? Is it working or is it not working? How come I called you and it goes straight to your voicemail?
Well, apparently, unbeknownst to me, and I've done it before, there's this do not disturb thing, and you've got to know like what status you're in. So yesterday, after you mentioned that, I went in and I took it off completely, the do not disturb, and I'm
Uh-huh.
hoping that has solved the issue.
Oh, all right. Well, that's good.
Yeah, I mean, I don't even know. I mean, I it was funny because I'm like, everything's fine. I get calls from my family, and
Yeah, you're wondering why nobody nobody's talking to you.
and the family has the ticket in, right, to break through the do not disturb. It's like crazy, man.
That's funny.
So I figure the only one that likes me is my family, and they don't even call me that much anymore. So how am I doing?
Yeah, well, get used to that.
I know, right? It's
It only
crazy.
gets worse.
Hey,
Oh,
B Brooks, welcome aboard. Chunin, well, I don't know that. Chuin, welcome aboard. Rapips, how are you doing today? Use the chat feature to respond. If you want to drop right into Zoom or home base, it's posted in the chat area of the channel. Check that out. You can just click on it, guest pass, come right in. This is a e-mini trade along that's on daily from 9 a.m. to 11:30. We're looking to focus on the S&P 500 e-mini, trade it well. If you're in a combine, great. It's a great way to set yourself up so that you can stay in the green and work on staying in the green from an educational point of view based on this trade along alone. If you are looking to pass your combine, certainly the S&P 500 E-mini is a great instrument to concentrate on. We have the ability to be coached by your trade along host. So if you like what we're doing here, you really want to focus on your trading business or your significant hobby, then we're here for you on a daily basis. And again, our Zoom room is our home base. Zoom gives us a lot of additional opportunity to really work the market and be able to really concentrate on our ability to change out charts and that type of thing. We also have the ability to go into private session. We call them coaching sessions with your trade along host. Those are part of our service. And the supplement to that is, let's say you are learning the price action trading methodology and you picked up some tidbits in your coaching class and you'd like to apply those trading skills or newfound trading skills. You do that while you're attached to the trade along and you have the direct feedback from your trade along coach as you're applying your newfound trading skills. So it's a great supplement to your learning based on live trade action coaching. So join us. If you like what we're doing here, tell your friends. We're here every trading day from 9 a.m. to 11:30, slugging it out. And again, we're looking to pick up 2 points plus on the trades. We generally have a 2 point stop, but that can expand based on market action and trade action. 2, 3, 4, 5 trades, having banked your money for the day, go off and do something else. In other words, bank your money early and be free to do something else. If you
all
want
right.
to,
We see here in the market kind of drift down here really quickly, and they got down to 93 and change down there. Pop back up here a bit. We're looking. We have 91. We'll see where that's going to do, if anything.
I would also mention if you're coming through the Discord space, add us back as a friend or add us as a friend. Hey, father figure, how are you? Welcome aboard.
All right, and then coming down here, again, we are scaling around the level, so 91 is the area that we have, is the level that we have, so again, talked about scaling in around that area there, we got down there to 1.5, and popping back up here a little bit. Again, so like I said, I did have my 92, and I'm trying to get a little bit of a pop here, got right up to 94, and again, scaling in around those areas, so you have to keep that in mind. We did be a little bit careful. If you have 91, be a little bit careful here because the bar just closed, so we're going to do the lower end of the entry point there, maybe do 90 or 89 here if you didn't have 91. 90, yeah, if you didn't get in there, 92, I should say. And if you didn't get filled at 91, you obviously didn't get filled at 91 because it got down here at 1.5. So, all right, now we're getting our 2-point rotation here off of the 92 entry. And again, if you were with us earlier, we scale in around an area. We're not going to be perfect. We talked about this earlier. The scale in is depending on your risk tolerance. Everybody here has different risk tolerances, so not here, nobody here is going to scale in the way I do or the way somebody else does. You have to know your risk tolerance and scale in around it, or not scale in at all and just have a one lot in there, which is all, again, nothing wrong with that either. It all depends on how you're going to manage each individual's risk here. So as long as you understand that, that's why sometimes I get filled, and sometimes somebody else doesn't get filled. It just happens that way. So at this point, do you hold or exit? I kind of I take my 2 points. I'm not gonna. I have looked at 3 lots at the first entry level. Right. I'm gonna take 2 of them off the table, and I'm gonna keep one. That's the way I do it. And that way, if we come back down and we go retest the lower end of the entry point, so I'm not gonna be top heavy, and I'm gonna take some profits. And so I already decreased my entry point price, but I'm not going to I'm not going to lose any money on that trade. So then I'm going to try to keep it for this little move here and just have a trail. Now I'll have a trailing stop. So I'm going to put my order in at 93 on trailing stop and see if we can't get up. I would like to get 98. Again, this is the way I do it. Doesn't mean it's the way you should do it. You have to, find something that suits your risk tolerance. I would just make sure that if you're going to, let's say you do 2 lots, that you're not going to, take a profit on one and make sure you scratch the other one if it gets back down or something like that. Again, that's one way of doing it, and maybe you could take 3 or 4 points out of the other one. There's no right or wrong way. Okay, you just have to do something that you're comfortable doing. Is basically what I'm trying to say. And again, everybody trades it differently. I know somebody who's trading 10 lots there and just will take his 2 points and be done with it. Doesn't matter. He's good with 2 points. And even though he could probably scale out for some, but he doesn't care. He just wants to take 2 points and be good with it and do all 10 and boom, boom. Nothing wrong with that either. So if you're with us a while, you'll see that we will pick a nice high and low every now and then, and you could take a few points out of it. Like I think at the 6 area when we got up to 6 originally, it came all the way back down to 2, so it was good 4 points there. And sometimes though we can pick a high or a high or a low of a move, and we could, again, keeping that one extra contract with a stop loss, and you can get, a nice little rotation off of it. Not every time. That's why you don't want to, do it every time. Uh, Again, it just depends on how much you believe in the levels and how you manage it. And everybody here does it.
Hey, Sal, just some information is that Ash was looking at taking a coaching class with
Okay,
one,
great.
you know,
Definitely would like to help if you are interested. Let me know. Definitely, if you want to talk to me about it, let me know. We'll see if we can help you. That's what I like to do. So, all right. Again, we're just kind of hanging here on lows. Let's see, green band coming there at 90, 91. So, uh, yeah, 88, I think was a level that my friend Don was looking for. So, the layers of support down there. You're really not going to start singing, are you?
I was just warming up for a tune.
At least turn the mic off then.
Hey, you missed my singing. I know.
Right.
You came back to the States because you knew.
Oh, yeah.
I was ready for a tune.
I hope Don didn't have to hear this all week, all month long.
It's so funny. Don is like, hi, he's not even on the mic. Don should be,
He's there.
he is there.
Hey, he needs some time off.
He was
He's,
getting a hat
he's,
fitting.
he's, jump, he's jumping in for me tomorrow because I got to go to the doctor.
Oh, okay. Well, you guys got a plan. I like it.
All right. Let's see here. Kind of hanging here on these lows. Basically, all it's been right now is go retest the overnight low at the 98. All right, so nice little did go right down to our first level of support there. 91 and a half it got down to. Obviously, not going to be perfect, like I keep saying. Uh, Good stop and a nice little rotation there. Now we're gonna be a little bit careful there around the. On the next level of support, we have really a bit more support. You're looking at 84. All right, we're just kind of hanging out. That's what the market does. It goes, makes a new high or low, or goes to a new area, and just kind of dabbles down there for a bit or up, and just kind of hangs and just doesn't do anything. That's why the volatility right now. That's what kind of trade that we've been at.
Same deal, meetings, that kind of shit. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Hello. Hey, what's up? I don't have a game yet.
Especially if that's the change or it goes up and they say, well, of course it's going up, and it goes down, oh, of course it's going down. You get the, so Jeff, is this with respect to the mapping on those inspection types that you and I was going over with, so, yeah, so I had a meeting with, about a week ago, and I filled out the rest of that table and posted it on their phone, and it has all the default values for inspection. So it, yeah,
All right. Yeah. there. Grab and did work. It was a nice little trade if you did jump in at the on the blue band opportunity as well. So blue band opportunity is more like a price action trade, depending again depending on your risk tolerance more than anything else. Those are important facts you have to consider. Each individual's risk tolerance is very important. So you have to know your own. All right, market just kind of hanging around our pivot area now. So it did go retest some of the highs that we had and then come down there and test this low we had. And now we're back here at our pivot. And this is kind of the trade that it's been going on here lately. And you can see here, we just are the same range we were at for the last few hours, which again, you have to take into consideration the market and the volatility and all that stuff. So we've had, you know, if you just traded the levels, we've traded our top level there at '07 and then our bottom level there at 91. So we've had two. There were a couple price action trades along the way if you're aggressive. So maybe three or four, again, depending on your risk tolerance. But either way, if you just traded the levels there, you did well with that. Oh gosh, what is this? Okay. All right. All right. Again, if anybody has any questions, feel free to ask in the chat. Don't mind questions. All right, the market is kind of just trying to float back up here into this range. It's been at all day. Obviously, the our first level of resistance up there at 7 got triggered already, so we're not going to look at that. If you're going to do anything, probably going to look at the 14 area. Um,
Yeah, let me share. This, this was what Lucia. All right, so, are you guys seeing my screen? All right, so where we came out on this was the basic high-level inspections are gonna be rough-in, building, electrical, and fire. And time of install inspection, we're gonna remove. Now, rough-in will include all of these listed below, in progress, building, etc. And final will encompass all of these. Rough-in covers all of these. Yes, rough-in encompasses all of these. And final, so this is what Lucia said. In the notes portion of the inspection.
and obviously, it's going to be a little bit
Like, for instance, if it's
kind of going nowhere fast.
that
You
will show
know,
up.
it's a tough trade right now when it just is this back and forth thing. Just
And that rolls
you
up
got to show
to
some
rough-in.
patience and wait for trade to get triggered versus just trying to jump in there and try to see where this is going to stop and why it's going to stop and when it's going to stop and try to, you're guessing. We don't want to guess. We want to put at least a good solid, good effort into the work that we do and then not give up the money that we made this morning because we're going to be guessing as to what the next trade's going to be. All right. All right. See here, we're right hovering around our to the area, trying to figure out where it wants to go, what it wants to do.
Hey, quick shout, welcome Georgios, welcome aboard. Michael, welcome aboard. E-mini trade along. As far as platforms, we're not sure. If you're looking to learn how to pass your combine and stay on the right side of your combine, this is the place. Add us back as a friend. We sent out friend requests, add us back. eminitradealong.com, eminitradealong.com. Join us live at Zoom. That's our home base. eminitradealong.com.